Today we're going to read Martin Luther King Jr., A Man with a Dream, written by Kim Mitzo Thompson and Austin James Thompson. Martin Luther King Jr., Table of Contents. The early years. Martin Luther King Jr. was born January 15, 1929, in Atlanta, Georgia. He had an older sister, Willie Christine, and a younger brother, Arthur Daniel. Martin's father was the pastor at Ebenezer Baptist Church. His mother, Alberta, sang and played the organ. Their family was very involved with church activities. Martin Luther King Sr. was called Daddy King, and Martin Jr. was called ML. Did you know Martin's birth name was Michael after his father? They both changed their names to Martin to honor the great German Protestant reformer Martin Luther. It's unfair. Growing up, ML had many friends. Two of his best friends lived across the street. They would play together every day. One day, the boy's mother told ML he was no longer allowed to play with her son. ML did not understand and went home crying. Martin's mother explained that most white people did not want their children around black children. At that time, there were unfair laws keeping white people and black people separated. This is called segregation. Did you know when ML was growing up, black people were not allowed to attend the same schools, drink from the same drinking fountain, or eat at the same restaurants as white people? Black people had to sit in the back of the bus while white people sat in the front. Martin was an outstanding student. He loved to read books and was a good speaker. When he was in high school, he entered a speaking competition in a neighboring town. After winning the competition, Martin and his teacher traveled on a bus to get home. But when the white people started getting on the bus driver told Martin to give up his seat. Martin refused. His teacher told him that he must follow the rules and let white people take his seat. This made Martin very angry. Did you know Martin skipped both the 9th and 12th grades? He graduated from high school when he was only 15. Martin decided to become a Baptist minister like his father. He attended Morehouse College in Atlanta, Georgia, and then Crozer Theological Seminary in Chester, Pennsylvania. He liked to read about great men in history. Martin studied the peaceful teaching of Mahatma Gandhi. Martin decided that using nonviolent methods was the best way to handle the discrimination that black people faced at that time. In 1951, Martin began studying religion at Boston University. While studying for his doctorate, he met Coretta Scott. They fell in love and were married on June 18, 1953, in Coretta's home in Alabama. Martin's father performed the wedding ceremony. Did you know that Martin asked Coretta to marry him on their first date? In 1954, Martin and Coretta moved to Montgomery, Alabama. Martin became the pastor of Dexter Avenue Baptist Church. Martin finished his doctorate degree at Boston University and then became known as Dr. King. Martin and Coretta welcomed Yolanda to their family in 1955. They affectionately called her Yoki. On Thursday, December 1st, 1955, Rosa Parks boarded a bus after working long hours at a Montgomery store. She was exhausted. After many stops, the bus became filled with people. The bus driver asked Rosa to give up her seat for a white person. Rosa refused. Not only was she tired after working so many hours, she was tired of the unfair treatment of black people. The bus driver called the police and they arrested Rosa. Rosa was taken to jail and charged with breaking the whites' first bus law. By Friday morning, everyone in the neighborhood had heard about what had happened to Rosa. Dr. King and the other leaders came up with a plan. They printed and passed out flyers urging black people to not ride the city buses on Monday. They called this the bus boycott. It was a peaceful way to demonstrate that the laws were unfair. On Monday morning, bus after bus could be seen driving down the streets almost empty. That evening, over 4,000 people came to a meeting where Dr. King spoke. He asked everyone to continue the boycott until black people were given the same rights as white people. The black community listened, and everyone stayed off of the buses. They walked to work. They walked to church. They walked to the store or shared rides. Dr. King began making speeches all over Montgomery about the importance of protesting peacefully. On September 30th, 1956, while giving a speech, Dr. King was informed that his house had been bombed. He rushed home and was relieved to find Coretta and Yolanda unharmed. His front yard was filled with supportive friends and neighbors. Many had weapons and were ready to fight the police, but Dr. King told the people we must meet hate with love. The bus boycott lasted more than a year. Finally, on December 20th, 1956, the Supreme Court ruled that segregation on city buses was unconstitutional. The boycott was over. The next day, Dr. King and his friends boarded a bus with excitement. Did you know that Dr. King was arrested for organizing the bus boycott? He was also arrested and fined for coordinating a carpooling system for black people to share rides. In fact, he was arrested nearly 30 times for his peaceful protests.